Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Disney Star Wars and the utter state of Disney Star Wars right now. We're going to talk about the state of Disney Star Wars post-Acolyte, which has been canceled. But it seems like Disney is rumored to be pivoting everything in regards to streaming with Star Wars. They're definitely cutting back. That's not going to make Acolyte stands very happy. In fact, they've called up their friends in the friendly media to help them wage war on YouTubers who they blame for the show getting canceled.
Right, again, somehow they are a vocal minority but can control all the people around the world to not watch the show.
Right. So let's talk about all this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Yeah, woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
So I got to point to this. This has been making the rounds on Twitter. This is a giant box of Boba Fett 6-inch action figures. A buck for Boba.
Where the heck was this?
I don't know. I know that they're pretty cheap. I mean, I got a Boba Fett Kenner style Book of Boba Fett action figure for like a couple dollars at Ollie's, but on no planet, even 5-6 years ago, would Boba Fett be clearanced out for next to nothing. But the Book of Boba Fett streaming show has done so much damage to this character. I mean, even Tamora Morrison's like, yeah, it just wasn't Boba Fett. Like, they're not going to do any more. And yeah, they've actually retroactively ruined legacy characters that made them money year after year. They could have never touched Boba Fett again. They'd still sell Boba Fett stuff from now until the end of time because he was cool, but they made him uncool. And,
well, you know how hard it is to make Boba Fett uncool. Disney found a way.
You have to give him more than 2 lines.
They found a way.
He was actually pretty cool when he was in the Mando sparingly. He was pretty cool. But then, yeah, we just made him like sad old Boba Fett, bitch made Boba Fett. But yeah, Ahsoka is going kind of the same route, right? Ahsoka was a very well-respected character in the cartoon. Live action show comes out. People are not really impressed with it. They should call it Disney nonplussed. And now the Ahsoka action figures are on clearance for $3. Just Ahsoka.
Yeah, but the shelves are full at our Walmart anyway with figures from Star Wars in general, and they're not selling at all.
None of this stuff is selling. Now, we've got the Disney Star Wars defenders out here like, well, kids just aren't buying toys. And that's true to an extent, but the collectors aren't buying this stuff anymore either. Like, I think most of the original trilogy fans, even the prequel trilogy fans, I think they've been chased off by various stupid Disney decisions over the last couple of years. And it's no secret that there are fans now, Disney Star Wars fans, that don't want people like us in the hobby, and they'll say as much, and we'll get to that. But so they're saying they're going to cut back according to this Daniel Rickman. You remember this guy? He was like an insider.
Yeah, direct, yeah.
Yeah, he said he reported that Disney is still currently developing a few new shows, but they look to only release 1 live-action television series per year.
Okay, this kind of sounds like what they're doing with Pixar, where they're doing like, we're going to do 1 movie a year, but like for every 2 sequels, we'll do 1 original because they're trying to cut down the number. So it sounds like they're doing that too. And they did the same with Marvel. They said they were going to try to limit the number of shows.
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously what they're going to do with Star Wars as well. I don't know if that's going to help it because you still have to have a good show when you release one.
I think it feels like, part of it, I think, is Disney is running out of money to waste on stupid stuff. But part of it too is I think they're trying to course correct, kind of like the MCU. They're going to try to do what they can do. They're going to try to stop bleeding money, but you're better off having 1 Mandalorian than having 10 acolytes, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Measure twice.
You're a YouTuber. Better watch out.
How dare I? But it was a disaster. It was a financial disaster.
You're right. Ripley's going to write you down as not right Yahtzee now.
Oh,
wait, they already did.
They've been since like 2020 or some bullshit like that.
Okay, I love it. Like, respect how we identify. We keep telling you, not Republican. Doesn't matter. We're going to label you as that, and you have to claim it because we said so.
But they said the rumor leaves out the animated series, so it's safe to assume that department will not see a major shift. However, Disney is taking a slower, spread out approach to live action television that coincidentally mirrors the current state of their movie slate. Rickman said, I'm hearing that several series are in development, but it seems they plan to release only one live action series per year starting in 2025. And this is probably why they're canceling the shows that aren't performing, because there's frankly not enough room for them anyway. And the next one, I think, is going to be another season of Ahsoka.
Yeah, they're going to start. Well, everybody was surprised. They thought it was going to be out like next year, but they're not even starting to film it until next summer. So it's later than people expected. So I'm not sure what show will be out. If they're filming it next summer, they probably won't release it to 2026. So I'm not sure what they're going to release next year, unless they're counting the Skeleton Crew towards next year. I don't know.
Mando and Grogu comes out in 2026, and they're saying that that's basically season 4. As
pretty much, yeah, as a movie.
Yeah, which they should have done with, honestly, with Obi-Wan. I mean, they might have actually made a few tweaks to it and made it work as a movie, but you had to switch Leia out for Luke, I think.
Yeah, I keep bringing it up because it was so stupid. Like, you have to try to suck that hard. Like, how do let's make Boba Fett his own show and then ruin Boba Fett. I know, let's do Obi-Wan Kenobi, but we'll make it about Leia, which makes no fucking sense whatsoever, even in continuity. So
here we go. And I thought Movie Web would stick to the facts, but they're not. And this will take us into the other part of the video, right? In its current state, Star Wars is heading toward an inflection point. Ever since The Last Jedi, Disney and Lucasfilm have been less subversive when it comes to Star Wars because they want to try to make money. But they still at least attempted to think outside the box for Andor and The Acolyte. With the recent cancellation of the latter, Star Wars is leaning toward being a safer, less imaginative universe.
Yes, because if you give people what they expect and know, they're going to give you their money.
A part of it is a portion of the fan base detesting anything remotely challenging toward the Star Wars mythos, going so far as sending hate messages to its stars.
I want to point out that the people that are like fans of The Acolyte and stuff have also sent out hateful messages to others as well, but it's okay when they do it.
Yeah, so this is again, this isn't over. I think that there is so much resentment now toward really it's resentment toward Lucasfilm for canceling the show, but they're going to place the blame at the feet of the YouTubers that Lucasfilm hates, by the way. Like, Lucasfilm does not like these people, and it is absolutely, this weird, it's that Schrodinger's fandom again, where it's like, they're not significant enough to make any dent in corporate decisions, but yet corporations defer to the YouTubers or the fandom or whatever when they make these cancellation decisions. They're just angry because they're losing. Everything's changing. And the reason it's changing is very, very simple. The money ran out.
Pretty much.
I mean, this is everything. Video games, comic books, whatever. Comic books, they need to get with the freaking program here. But like, the free money has run out. Companies need to get with the program and start turning a profit, or they're going to go out of business. It's as simple as that. This came from The Independent, their Indie 100, and it's one of the few articles that doesn't have an author, doesn't have a byline. It's just
really staff.
Indie 100 staff, so you can't harass them. Star Wars fans slam YouTube as it says content attacking the Acolyte's Amanda Stenberg is not violative. Yeah, so they're basically angry, and they spend a lot of time name checking, rewriting Ripley.
Yes, because everybody keeps doing that. And this is what ticks me off, is the fact that they're so mad that their show doesn't get renewed. But then they send like harassment campaigns. They're like, we're being harassed, but they're without proof of it.
Right.
But then they send provable harassment campaigns after other people because somehow it's the YouTuber's fault that the show failed, not the fact that no one watched it.
Right. So the other day we did a video on this, and this was ridiculous. This was a I can't see their stuff. This was a coordinated attack. It was rewriting Ripley, which has been trying to tie certain YouTubers, including us, to the actual alt-right and to like political personalities, which is just nonsense. I mean, this is some seriously like deranged thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've tried
clear thinking.
What?
Do you expect clear thinking?
No, I do not. But they disappeared for a couple of years. Now they're back because the Acolyte got canceled, right? But they put together this like infographic, and they actually worked with other Star Wars YouTubers, which is insane. But a whole bunch of these people went on Twitter at the same time, tweeting at Team YouTube to try to get YouTube to not just take down the videos they found that were offensive, because usually what YouTube will do is if a video goes too far or whatever, they'll either demonetize that video or they'll take that video down. But they wanted them to demonetize all these Star Wars channels because they say mean things about Disney Star Wars, and they cited
those ones in particular. Was it Geeks and Gamers?
Geeks and Gamers,
RK Outpost,
Ryan Kinnell, which he's part of Geeks and Gamers. I guess.
And then Nerdrotic.
Because they're the biggest channels, and these people, the mindset is very much like K-drama, where they have like the antis, or the K-pop, where they get into these like pissing matches on Twitter. And to them, they're the antis, so they have to get rid of them. So, but they also, in all this, I guess they admitted to false flagging people's channels for years.
They admitted to it?
Yeah, they admitted to it. Like, they admitted to flag. Like, we've been trying to get them down for years. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Because I knew something was going on with Star Wars, because the other day we actually did upload an Acolyte video, and we haven't done that in a while. And it took forever to process. Like, normally if there's like a trigger word or something, that felt like YouTube was kind of putting the brakes on putting those kinds of videos up until they could look into it. But they looked into it. They came back and they basically said, yeah, you're full of shit.
Here's the thing. If Disney thought there was money to be made with the Acolyte, and right now, making a mistake, they're all about making money. That's what they need to do. They're course correcting everything to try to profit. Okay. And if they thought they were going to make money, they would not have canceled it. And it's not because of YouTubers, because a couple of YouTubers did not single-handedly find a way to make globally the global audience not watch this show. They didn't. And I've seen other people cover it in articles, and there are people that like watch the show and they're Star Wars fans. They don't even mind some of the newer Disney stuff. And they said the show was arguably crap.
Yes.
And they said, we're fans of the newer Star Wars stuff and thought the show was crap.
I think what is going on here is, I personally think there are some jobs on the line, because some of these people do have connections to Lucasfilm.
Well, Rewriting Ripley was connected to Lucasfilm.
Yes, that was proven. There's a connection there. But yeah, this is some like next level shit. Like, the show gets canceled, they blame YouTubers for it, and then they try to find a technicality to get them demonetized. But it's like, you could take those YouTubers out of the equation. Actually, the show would have gotten fewer views without them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. People were pointing that out. They said because people were watching it, hate watching it, and that was a part of the viewership. But then somebody else brought up too, if you're going to blame all these YouTube channels that were bigger, like those three in particular, he said they share an audience. So just because each one has that many subscribers, independently, a lot of those subscribers are crossovers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that it's like millions and millions of people. And like you said, they probably got people to watch the show. And even if it's a hate watch, those views counted toward the final viewership that would have, possibly gotten the show renewed.
Right.
You were fine with their hate views then.
Yeah. But I think in their mind, they did not think this was going to happen. I'm like, every other industry, we've seen this with AAA gaming or whatever, that it's all collapsing. But yeah, Team YouTube was like, we understand you don't agree with the decision, but we're going to leave them up because they did not violate our terms of service. And really, if YouTube sets a precedent that they will pull down anybody's channel because they said, mean words or they don't like a show you like or whatever, then there goes the entire platform, right? Like, they've pulled down people's channels for pretty egregious stuff. And I think they're not doing that as willy-nilly as they used to. Now it seems like they look into it more because they take a huge hit. Every time they do that, people are like, yeah, you can't trust YouTube. Let's go someplace else. Mm-hmm. But they're all freaking, here it is, folks. Everything here is perfectly in line with YouTube's TOS.
I want to point out that the terms of service also says that if you have YouTube channels, you aren't supposed to start harassment or targeted campaigns against other YouTube channels. And some of the people that were sharing it, we're kind of like in a position that they would have violated terms of service. And I don't think they should get their channel removed for that. That's stupid. And I'm not saying that at all, because that would just be idiocy there. But I'm just saying, it's just like, if you're so worried about being sticklers for terms of service.
They quoted, this is actually who runs Rewriting Ripley, by the way.
When you call yourself the informal majesty, you know that you're full of your head's up your ass.
Yes. She, they, them, whatever has been compiling lists of YouTubers and Twitter users to basically harass for at least 5 or 6 years
Well,
now.
you said the document's like a living document. They just updated it a couple days ago.
Oh, there's the original Rewriting Ripley Medium article that was this like psychotic Unabomber Shack manifesto trying to tie a bunch of YouTubers who are mostly just middle-aged dudes that are salty about Star
When you
Wars.
talk about conspiracy theorists, they're like, hold my beer.
Yeah, but they were like, oh, because this person talked to this person, and they talked to this person once, and then this other person knows this person, whatever, and they're all on YouTube together. Steve Bannon runs them all, but it's so weird because what they're upset about is like they're trying to tie people to like Milo Yiannopoulos. Like he's not even in the picture anymore.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to bully. They're trying to target and they're trying to bully. They're trying to bully people, bully YouTube into silencing the critics because they don't want to hear it. So that they think they erroneously think that if they get rid of these YouTubers, then everybody's going to come watch the shows they want and support what they like. And that's not going to happen. It's just going to be more people who are going to show up. You're going to take more people off, and other channels are just going to pop up in their place. It's not going to change anything.
No.
People, they are not controlling the public. Most you ask them who these people are, the people are like, who? They don't no offense to them because I'm sure they have a lot of followers, but most people in the general public, normies, they don't know who I am. They don't know what our channel is. They don't know those other channels. They don't even know about, all this drama probably. They just know they didn't want to watch The Acolyte.
They probably didn't even know The Acolyte was on.
Probably didn't. They didn't probably care. They just don't care about Star Wars. Which is provable by the fact they're changing their plans because nobody is watching it.
Yeah.
But facts don't matter, guys. It doesn't matter how much provable evidence you can provide. These idiots just keep doubling down. It's racism. It's sexism. It's bigots. It's trolls. They cannot. Their little brains cannot comprehend facts.
I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor that every time somebody tries to go to Ollie's, Gary from Nerdrotic stands in front of the door and tells them they're not allowed to go in, and that's why all those Rey action figures from 2017 are still there.
Oh yeah, because he's personally forbidding people from buying every
that's
single
all he
toy.
does when he's not streaming. He gets in a van and he drives around on the East Coast, even though he lives in the West Coast.
It's Ray Tico van.
Yeah, and he does, and he's been, he's like, no, you can't have her.
I said that on purpose because Rose or Ray. People are gonna be like, it's Rose Tico. I know.
It's Ray. We ship them. It's Ray Tico. Okay.
Ray Tico,
in a galaxy far, far away, their love is permissible, and they can get married, and they can even have children through the Force. So shut the fuck up.
That's right. It's Ray Tico.
Nobody cares. Like look, Disney has destroyed Star Wars. I don't know what else to tell you. If you like it, fantastic. I'm happy for you. But they got to make business decisions, right?
They keep saying that everybody's picking on the poor people who like the Acolyte, and I'm like, look, I got the same thing with the He-Man show and She-Ra and all that crap. Here's the thing that I've seen, and it's not just watching this stuff and being part of it. You are allowed to like things. It's when you do not like things that they descend upon you to bully and harass you. Every time someone says they didn't like the She-Ra show, for example, someone tried to start a thread on this the other day on the He-Man board, and all these people were like, and it's all dudes, were like there to tell you what a bigot and a sexist pig you were and all this other crap. And I was just like, I was so pissed because I'm like, wait, I'm a woman, and I took this shit from people. I got told it was a bad mom because I said I didn't like She-Ra's outfit. I kid you not. I didn't like her new outfit, and I got told I was probably a bad mother who doesn't let my kids watch things like Steven Universe, but the joke's on them because my kids did watch Steven Universe. I just didn't like it. You're not allowed to not like this stuff. So where some people, I think when I'm seeing people get mad at the Acolyte fans is when they are being bullies themselves. That's when I'm seeing them get mad. Like when people are, they're bullying. They're mad because you don't like it. They start bullying people, and then people fight back, and then they're like, "Oh my God, we're being oppressed."
Yeah. Well, okay, and we're going to talk about that in the next video. We're going to talk about Bill Maher and some stuff he said about RFK's wife, Cheryl Hines, but he basically said that the people that are always, historically bullied are now the ones that are holding their head down.
They're terrible bullies.
Yeah, they're the bullies now.
The tolerant people are the biggest bullying sack of shit I've ever seen. I've never seen so much bullying as I've seen out of the people. Like, okay, back to the She-Ra thing. We had a girl who did a fan art piece of Mermista from the original She-Ra.
From the original,
and then she was harassed by other. They're all like, we're underage, harassed by them, telling her to kill herself because she whitewashed Mermista when she clearly went and said flat out she was doing a G1 version of the character, and they were mad. And this is a mentality. For all their, you're getting support, so this is doubling down and making them worse. No. I would argue the other side 1,000 times more. You guys get in your own way every time you're awarded for bullshit. You guys just get emboldened to think that you can just cancel everyone. But the joke's on you because normies are turned against it.
Yeah, and we're going to talk. The tide is definitely turning. And again, all it took was the money to
And
running out.
Star Wars is, they're doing less and less because nobody's tuning in.
Boba Fett. All the Boba Fett you
The
want for
shows
$1.
have progressively gone down with viewership. Same with Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, they have.
Hopefully, they better make Daredevil Born Again good, but I do have some hope for that one because they scrapped the original plans, which are probably dog shit, and went and got people back from the other shows and Punisher and stuff to come in, and the Netflix people come in and do this one. So hopefully, it doesn't suck.
Yep,
like She-Hulk.
The Acolyte, they could have just scrapped it and made a show about young Palpatine. How did Palpatine become a Sith? That might have actually been.
Side note, Steven Spielberg is going to direct a Goonies sequel.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of hope for that, but we'll see.
I don't either,
We'll see.
they finally got it put through.
So there we go. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Let's wrap this one up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.